Welcome everybody to another BD Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend, Mr. BDA. I'm glad that you could all be on board for this one. A lot to talk about. Big fight today. In fact, a lot of big fights at the moment. So before we get to the fun, I want to thank everybody who is joining us right now, listening to us across the interwebs. And let's get the business out of the way, alright? If you want to continue supporting the show, you can do so by continuing to listen, hitting the thumbs up, spreading the BDA gospel. And if you got a couple of shekels lying around, you can always donate them via the Super Chat feature. You can also donate via the Patreon page, the BDA Patreon page, or the BDA PayPal page. That is if you got a couple of shekels. Also, do you want to join the Discord? You're going to want to join the Discord, fellas. It's like the chat room, but without the show. It's a lot of fun hanging around with the BDA family. I suggest you do it. Also, don't forget to sign up for the Twitter. That's the Bucho helms that, so you might see a lot of Bucho in that BDA Twitter page. What else? So that's about it, right? That's about it. Thanks a lot, fellas. Hit that thumbs up button, like people are saying in the chat room. And speaking of the chat room, I want to give a shout out to everybody there. Box is in there. Official Scorecard Boxing, Shepherd of Sons, Subash Kunwar, shout out to Subash, Stephen Lawler, Nes Mendoza, Ernest Mendoza. The heck? 2 Mendozas. There's only room for 1 Mendoza. I suggest you guys slug it out, see who's the last man standing. Triple JJJ is in there as well. Ernesto Mendoza is in there as well. Now, wait a minute. Hold on a second. What's going on here? There's Ernest Mendoza, Nes Mendoza, and Ernesto Mendoza. It's too many Mendozas, guys. We got to thin the herd here. Joe Blow is in there as well. Pete is in the chat room as well. Grievous. Who else? Joe Blow, I already mentioned, I believe. How many more to come? I'm sure Gonzalo's in there as well. Canelo, give me my belt. All right. James Wood. All Boxing Talk and News. Check out his channel. And like I said, many more to come, I am sure. Sakib, Rafik as well. And we got Unbiased Boxing Talk has attracted a lot of controversy these last couple of 48 hours because apparently he snitched on somebody. Snitch. Now, we don't like snitches around here. But the worst thing she did to me was pretending to be, I don't know if it's a he or a she. So, Unbiased, I hate doing it, but you're walking on thin ice right now. That's all I'm going to say. Better behave yourself. Otherwise, we're becoming a lot more strict around here. No more playing around. By the way, I see I got Bucho on the line. Bucho, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Where were you?
I was getting ready to nap.
To nap?
Well, I was already napping before. And then you were having technical issues, and then I was like setting up something. And
I saw you drinking wine a couple of, I think last night.
No, that was yesterday. I didn't drink that. I didn't drink anything. Because I'm gonna do a post-fight show as well tonight.
Oh.
So yeah, I need to be 100%. So
All
I
right, so
took a nap today as well.
All right. So the way this is gonna work, ladies and gentlemen, is we're gonna have this show here, this episode, and then later on, the way it's gonna work is I'm gonna be on for about 2 hours. Then we're gonna start another stream. So we're gonna end this one, and a couple of minutes later we're gonna start another one. But Bucho, I'm gonna have to set that up over there, so it might take a couple of minutes depending on how.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
And then we'll leave it on. And then Bucho, you just gonna jump on there and continue it, or do we have to shut that one down and then?
I'll explain it to you later. But yeah, we're gonna shut this one down.
Just keep in mind, I'm gonna be very tired. It's been a long day, so I'm not gonna be able to be running around after the fight, doing all that work.
After the fight, I'll start my own stream.
All right, but what I'm saying is I have to shut the other.
We'll talk later. Guess what? We'll talk about after the show, okay?
Guess what? No, we're gonna talk about it now. What's the matter with you?
No, okay, come on. Now let's some comments here. ABDA and King Bucho all in chat. Where are the how come people keep mentioning the intros?
What intro?
I don't know. It's like the intros. There's nobody in here yet.
Yeah, who brought that up? All Boxing Talk. ABDA, King Bucho all in chat. Where are the intros? Well, yeah, there's nobody. Somebody
Bucho
and myself.
Gonzalo mentioned it.
We don't have intros for ourselves here. That would be pretentious. By the way, did you set up the phone calls there, Bucho?
Yeah, give me the green light.
Okay, we're gonna open them now, by the way. Why not? Hold on a second. Alright, yeah, continue reading the comments there.
Okay. Rod Rook Davis, funny already. German person, you guys need couple therapy. Grievous says, Corolla fighting right now just started. Pete says I didn't answer you. That's because we're gonna fucking discuss this like on live. Like, it doesn't make sense. Uncle Burnt Apostrophe says Punch and Judy seemed appreciated. Overhand says I forgot about the intros. Boxing Spectrum, I never have mentioned anything about intros. It was John Gonzalez or Gonzalo, I don't know. I saw a message on Discord. Get confused. All Boxing Talk and he says Jimmy Precise Stu, etc. What the hell Stu? Guys, type in Stu. Get in here. If he's listening. Stu, you better join the show. This is a very important show right now. This is a very important show. Taco Berenstein says Block Talk Radio, bro. Okay. All Boxing Talk and you says, are we all hyped for this awesome fight? Yes, we are. Pete says, Bucho with those quick answers to BDA, Bucho on the hot seat already. That's right. Let's see what else. Boxing Spectrum says, no, not me. I'm on about bugging you guys about that stuff. That's true. It's John Gonzalez and Sirhan Gonzalez. What else do we have here? Shipper Son says there will be a coup on the BDA ship tonight. Oh boy. Stu, where are you? Yeah, where the fuck is Stu, man? My god. What else do we have? Shipper Son says the Mexican storm got him.
Butcher, sorry to interrupt. I thought the episode was done. The block talk, I thought it was set up.
No, it's not set up. I have.
All right.
I said I need the green light.
Set it up.
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you something. It's interesting how things evolve around here. A lot of people weren't excited for this fight. When it was announced, some people were a little bit dubious about what was going to happen. Some people were saying, here we go. Canelo with his shenanigans, rehydration clauses. Kovalev is finished. Some people were saying he can't take it to the body. Some people weren't excited. Well, guess what? As always, it always happens. Once the fight is actually here, whoops, all of a sudden people start saying, I'm getting excited. What's going to happen? I think maybe Kovalev is going to knock Canelo out. Put it to you this way, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo, despite all of his gifts, despite all of his, how can I say this, outside of the ring advantages, he still has to fight Kovalev in there. Kovalev is a big dude, one of the best light heavyweights of the past 10 years, and maybe still the best light heavyweight out there right now. He's not that old. Forget about, people make it out to be as if he's going to be a walking corpse in there because of the fact that he struggled to make weight. He didn't look all that drawn out to me. I don't know, Bucho, what do you think? Do you think he looked drawn last night?
Kovalev, though. No, I didn't see him weak at all, actually. And by the way, Gonzalo sent me this video from YouTube, and apparently there is no rehydration clause. Canelo said that there's no rehydration clause. He told that to Chava Rodriguez from ESPN. If you guys speak Spanish and you watch ESPN Spanish, there's this correspondent called Chava Rodriguez. And he talked to Canelo. Canelo said there's no rehydration clause. Now, what does that mean? Like, does it mean there's no rehydration clause for the fight night, and there wasn't one in the morning, or what? But from what I understood, there is none at all.
Press 1.
So,
Your show will go live in 5
so I don't know, man. So I don't know. People are saying Dan Raphael said that there was.
2, 1.
Pete saying I'm shocked at all the talk about the rehydration. All Box Talking you says there isn't a clause for Canelo. No, a clause for but a clause for apparently there's no clause at all. That's what that interview said. Gonzalo says no one at all.
All right.
So I don't know who's lying.
Did
you hear what I said?
I heard about the what's his name, Cathy Duva, that supposedly she said no comment. So now I'm thinking, why would she say no comment if there wasn't?
She didn't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she wants to make it seem like like there is something like there's a handicap, or there might be a handicap. I mean, I don't know. Listen, there might be one. Maybe someone is lying. It's just confusing now.
That's right. What else? When is it starting? Now, that's the other thing about the start time. We got to get that straight. Apparently, they are depending on the UFC main event. So apparently, they decided that they're going to start the main event, the Canelo versus what's his name? Kovalev. Sorry about that. Apparently, they're going to start that fight after the UFC main event, Bucho. So why are they? I mean, are they doing it for the convenience of the fans, or are they doing it because they don't think they can compete, or they don't want to compete with that? What do you think?
What are you talking about?
I'm going to repeat what I said. Apparently, the UFC fight, which is taking place today as well, the Golden Boy Promotions, they're going to wait until that main event is finished before they come out to Canelo Kovalev.
Okay, don't the UFC events start like at 10?
That's right. So that's why some people were speculating also in the Discord about, well, wait a minute. If, let's say, the other fight, the Masvidal versus Diaz fight, starts at midnight, and it ends at about what? I mean, are they going to start it? Are they going to start this main event, Canelo Kovalev, right as soon as the fight finishes, or is it? It makes no sense. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. Anyway, listen, people.
That's official.
Yeah, well, that's what people are saying. Again, I don't know how official that is, but I read it in a couple.
Who supposedly said? The lawyer said that.
Apparently, you know what? When in doubt, and by the way, fellas,
Let's ask people in the chat. Yeah, check
Jesus,
it.
Pucho, man,
Because
what's the
this,
matter?
I mean, now we're finding out that all these fucking rumors going around. Guys, could somebody check out if that's true, that the main event is gonna wait until the
I was
Diaz fight's
gonna
over?
say, before you scream there, I was going to say that I was gonna check it out. When in doubt, always check it out, because I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. I didn't make that up, so it's gotta be. Hold on a second, let me see. Ring Magazine, they're not talking about that. I thought I saw
cutting
it.
off?
I'm cutting off.
Yes.
All right. By the way, fellas, the phone lines are open, so if you want to call in, number is right up there on the description. I mean, on the top of your screen. So go on ahead, give us a call. You can still give us your predictions. You can still change your prediction. It's not too late. But don't think for 1 second that you can change your prediction during the fight. That would be disgusting, and that would be an infamia. And guess what? I told you we're being a little bit more strict here, trying to thin the herd a little bit. If you get out of line and you change your prediction during the fight, it's hammer time, baby. You're out of here. All right?
Now people are saying there's 2 rehydration clauses.
wait a minute. What does that mean? How do? Okay. Somebody's got to explain this to me. Hold on. Let me check the chat. I want to see what people are saying in the chat.
Like SSB 28, the Canelo fight is starting right after the UFC ends.
12:15 is the main event. Oh boy, I'm gonna be dead tired by then, man.
Fucking Christ.
Hey, whoa. What's with the language though? What's with the language?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a link so I can invite more people, by the way, just letting you know.
Okay.
Corruption in boxing says, God damn, the main event will be at 6 a.m. for me here in Den Haag.
Oh my God.
I must be a vampire.
Yeah, somebody says, who said, Steven Schneider in the chat room, shout out to Steven, he says 12:15 is annoyingly late. Isn't Steven from England or from the UK, or am I getting those people mixed up?
No, he's from LA, California.
Oh, okay. Well then,
then
12:15 for him is not that bad if he's on the West Coast. By the way, Bucho, we got a phone call. Hold on a second. Okay. 954. You're on the air. 954.
Scalebender.
Scalebender. Oh, Pete.
Yeah, Pete.
All right. How you doing,
man? Are you calling from like Guatemala or something?
954?
All right, we're gonna send you a link.
Yeah, we're gonna send you a link, man. Don't worry about it.
Send me a link. Let me get off this goddamn phone.
Thank you. Right. We can barely hear you, man. All right.
Yeah, get off the phone, man. Get off the phone. He's Florida. All right, those Florida landlines, Bucho. I gotta tell you. Oh, by the way, yeah, we also have. Hold on a second. I got 2 things going here at the same time. I can barely keep up. do we got here? All right, so yeah, we're gonna get Pete a link. Hold on, I'll send you the link in a couple of minutes there, Bucho. We got a phone call, another phone call, 205? 205, you're on the air, 205. 205, you're on the air. Going once.
Well, it's old Pepper from the South. How's everybody doing out there?
Come on.
Oh man.
Bucho, do we hang up on this guy?
Yeah, come on.
All right. Now, you know what? Well, if he keeps it respectful, I got him on mute, by the way, so you guys can't hear what he's saying. Old Pappy, you're going to have to behave yourself. Keep everything to a minimum. Don't be disrespectful. I got to ask you, so let's stick that, because I know you always want to make it racial. Who are you rooting for in this fight?
Well, I'll tell you something right now. That's a very interesting question right there. I don't really know who to root for. On the one hand, you got two people that look like white people, but aren't really white.
Oh, come
you
on.
got one Mexican with dirty Irish genes inside of him.
Oh, come on.
And on the other hand, you have Sergey Kovalev, a no-good, dirty commie.
Oh,
So I don't know who to root for. But I tell you what, I'd sooner kill my wife, my daughter Annabella, and her disgusting children before I ever root for a dirty, no-good Russian. I'll tell you that much right now.
All right. You know what, Old Pappy, I got to educate you on something here. That the Russians have not been communists for about 2 decades now, or more than that, right, Bucho? More than 2 decades?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't know. You're 2 decades late there, Old Pappy.
Well, maybe that's what they're teaching you up there in gay Canada. But down here in the good old United States of America, we know what's up. And I tell you what I know. I went to Korea and fought the
Okay,
communists.
come on.
And I got my left testicle dislocated doing battle with these heathens. So I'll be damned if I'm going to root for a communist.
All right. How do you get your testicle dislocated? How do you get your testicle dislocated? Can you explain that to us?
I tell you how you don't get dislocated. You don't get it dislocated by being a dirty, no good draft dodger like Muhammad Ali. That's right, I said it. The man was a communist. He was a draft dodger and he was a coward. He wasn't the greatest of all time. Old Pappy's the greatest of all time. And what you think about that, boy?
Well, I think you're the greatest of all time at driving this crazy. I think that's what you're the greatest at.
Let me tell you something right now, boy. You got some spunk in you. I tell you what.
All right, listen. Okay, we got to cut this show. We got other people waiting here. So, just real quick, I got to ask you, like I always do, is this going to be a good fight?
I tell you what, boys, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Now you come on down to Alabama one of these days, have some good old corn, some spare ribs, some barbecue sauce, some lemonade, and some apple pie to finish it all down. I tell you what about now.
All right, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for calling. We're going to have to move on. So, but again, always appreciate you. All right. Jesus. All right, I hung up on him. That was Old Pappy.
Insane.
He's insane, yeah. All right, that was Old Pappy. Thank you for calling in. Let me go check. All right, phone lines are still open, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to keep it respectful, just like Old Pappy did, then you can certainly call in. But again, keep everything to a minimum, no tomfoolery, and you'll be all right. I won't hang up on you the way I did on him at the end. All right, so Butch, I'll send you the link here. Hold on a second.
All right.
And rehydration clause. I wanted to ask you, how did you react when Kovalev wasn't making weight?
Man, I was surprised because he always makes weight.
Yeah.
But it was just a little bit. But I don't know, man.
Actually, you know what? I gotta invite somebody. So hold on. You gonna
All
drop
right.
off? You're gonna drop off for 2 seconds. All right. I'm calling Pete. It's been a while since we haven't called him first. So he called in. He gets to be first here. All right. Oh, Pete, are you there? Please tell me that's Pete and not another crazy caller.
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. All right, you give me flashbacks there from the last caller. All right, so we got Pete here. Pete, can you clarify if you've heard about the start time for this fight? Because some people are saying that they're not going to start the main event until the main event over at the UFC is over. So have you heard anything about that?
Not about the start time. I'm walking inside the office right now, so I don't want to get noisy here. But the start time, I don't blame them if they do hold it off until after the UFC because, I mean, that makes sense, wouldn't it?
Well, first of all,
UFC card's in Madison Square Garden.
yeah, so okay.
Hey, I'm gonna get on my computer, so I'm not out here in the shop and it's all noisy.
All right, you do that.
But I got some info for you on the rehydration, though. Yes.
All right. Oh, hold on a second.
I'll
Now
be
Bucho
right
dropped.
back. Let me tell you something.
Bucho dropped off, man. I don't know.
Old
Hold on a
Poppy.
second.
Shout out to Old Poppy on the CB radio.
Yeah, I think he was on the old CB radio. This guy.
He was
That's
on
what
the
they did
shortwave, boy.
on the shortwave. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he
Let me
passes
tell you
off. Pretty sure he's been around since before. You know when they had those raids, those tubes on the radio, those tubes
Of
inside
course.
the actual radio. They didn't have many chips or anything. All right, Bucho's back. Bucho, if you
Yep.
wanna.
Lucho.
Oh, by the way, hold on a second. We got another caller here. Let's get down to it right away. Hopefully, it's not a weirdo anymore. All right, 347. You're on the air. 347.
Oh,
Yes, 347. You're on the air. What do you want to talk about?
this is BBA is X.
Oh, it's X. Hold on a second. We got another. I wouldn't say weird caller, but if we got X on the line, you know what that means.
Yeah, I'm here to tell it like it is.
Yo, here's the story, my man. We got to get a message out about brothers working for these white devils and not getting paid what they deserve.
All right, X. What do you want? X. What do you want to talk about? X. Oh, X dropped off. What the fuck? After that great introduction, he drops off. I don't even know if that was really X. He's
Yo,
from.
X is like in Blood In, Blood Out. I ain't no Muslim, man. I ain't no Muslim. Let me playing that shit.
All right. All right. So are you in your computer now, Pete, or are you still on the phone?
I'm still on my phone.
All right.
I'm gonna walk the computer right now. Hang on, my man.
90
Mr. BBA.
seconds.
All right.
Mr.
Wait.
BBA in charge of the show, running a very tight ship.
I
This
like
is great.
always. Yeah. Okay. First of all,
Cracking
Bucho,
the whip.
Bucho, are you there, man? Because the event that the blog talk, he just told me.
Yeah. I'll fix it.
All right.
Gee.
Yeah. What the
Alright.
fuck? Yeah. Bucho's hyper today, man.
No,
All right.
it's because I'm trying to send the links and I'm on my phone. It's hard to unmute. I have to go back to the call and it's
All right.
frustrating. So.
All right. We got.
BBA puts that pressure on Buccio. I like
I
it.
didn't do
60
anything.
seconds.
All right. 347. You're on the air. 347.
God damn it! I know somebody fucking hacked my damn phone.
Yeah, you're cutting off there, X, a little bit.
Pisses me off.
I tell you, X, you gotta upgrade your phone service, man.
X is on the trap phone.
He's got that government card with the government minutes and the bad signal. X, are you there, man? No, I can't hear him. All right, X. You know what, X?
How about
Just
now? Can you hear me?
a little bit. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear you. What's up, X? Don't you want to come on the Discord a little bit? Say hi.
I think it's time for me to. I think it's time for me to upgrade from this Obama phone that I got like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think so too. Don't you just want to jump on the Discord and say hi a little bit?
And I'm afraid of the Discord. You got demons in there like Shepherd of Sun, John Gonzalez.
All right, you're cutting off,
He's
X.
cutting off, man.
Cutting off, X.
He's
You
using a Nokia phone.
Yeah, you better drop in on the Discord and say hi there. We'll send you. All right, sorry, X. We gotta go, man. We can't hear you, man.
He's on that trap phone, that burner.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like the wire. They got the throwaway phones. They don't take any risks over there. All right, so listen, we got a nice little team here going, guys. We've said about everything that there is to say about this fight. People, we got different opinions here. Some people think it's going to be a robbery. Some people don't give Kovalev a chance. They think that no matter what he does, he's going to get robbed. Other people feel that Canelo's going to win legitimately. Other people feel that this is all going to blow up in his face and he's going to get whacked in there. What do you guys think? Is there anything we missed so far?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Gonzalo.
What's up, my man?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kovalev can win legitimately. He's a light heavyweight champion. Yes. And He's fighting for his belt. He's the bigger guy, the longer guy. Absolutely, he can win legitimately. But then a lot of people are saying it's going to be a robbery. And when Kovalev does win, like I expect him to, it's kind of like a 50-50 fight. People are going to come out of the woodwork and say, I told you so. So if you're really stand behind somebody, forget about the judges.
Right.
Think with your heart and forget about the corruption. But when push comes to shove, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If there is a robbery, then they're not going to let it go. We're going to keep talking about it in the near future. But for now, just go into the fight with a positive mind, thinking that we're just going to have a good fight, in my opinion.
And do you think it's going to be a good fight, Gonzalo?
Yes. I don't think Kovalev got that one-hitter quitter, but he's got that steady power behind the jab. But since Canelo has good defense, it's going to be a good fight to where, Kovalev can't hurt him, but it's not going to be like right away.
Mm-hmm.
And if Canelo closes the distance and is able to get on the inside and hurt Kovalev, it could be to where Canelo wins, but it could also be that Kovalev wins. It's kind of a 50-50 fight, but I'm thinking that Kovalev wins by split decision. Two judges will have it like 7-5, and another one will have it like 9-3 Canelo. But then my alternative pick would be that Canelo knocks him out in the 9th round.
All right,
TKO.
now I don't understand why people in the chat room have been giving you a hard time during the build-up to this fight. Some people have been accusing you of being biased toward for Canelo because supposedly you're Mexican, so you're always going to root for him. But I get the sense that you're being more of a realist and trying to, like you said, keep a positive attitude in the sense that it is going to be a fair fight, as opposed to saying that the fan man is going to fly in there and hit Kovalev over the head and they're going to count that as a knockout win for Canelo. Or am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah, you're correct, because really it amuses me how people think that, dude, I'm just like a simple dude over here in the Philippines that got my opinion, to where they think that I'm gonna go ape shit if Canelo loses, to where I give Kovalev full credit and I know who he is, and all I want to really see is a boxing fight. Look, I might be Mexican, but this last month or two there has been no Mexican fighters, and I've fully enjoyed boxing to where if a Mexican fighter doesn't fight from here on out for the rest of the year, I wouldn't care. I just really want to see good fights. And maybe Andy Ruiz is fighting in December, and I'm a fan of him. But to say that I'm a ride or die fucking Canelo nutherger, that's not true. I mean, look, he is a pay-per-view star, to where you gotta feel happy for the guy. And a lot of Mexicans would ride with the Mexicans. I understand that. It's kind of like a national thing, but at the same time, I'm not gonna blow it out of proportion to say oh, I'm just gonna call something that I know in my right mind that isn't. But
Right.
people always have their opinions.
Well, you know what? I always say that here on this show is if you're pro Canelo, like if you happen to be Mexican and you happen to be pro Canelo, people are gonna call you, oh, you're a Mexican nationalist. You only root for the Mexican because you're Mexican. Then if you don't root for the Mexicans come at you and they go, oh, Holmes, why you gonna be like that? Why you gotta be a Malinche? And they say that you're a self-hating Mexican. So you can't really win with anybody. There's always gonna be somebody accusing you of being biased. So I don't give a fuck. I tell you right now, I am not a Canelo fan. I respect his boxing skills, but just because he's Mexican, I'm not gonna root for him, because that's how you dilute a nation. You gotta root for anybody just because you share the same nationality. So that means that you have to root for a fucking cannibalistic pedophile or something. Is that what you want to do? Because if that's what you want to do, I want no part of your fucking nation. Pete, what do you think about this? Weigh in on this.
Well, you don't want me to weigh in because those scales will be all over the place. But I
Oh,
will say, hey. So I just got back to my desk, and I'll be honest with you. Unlike Bucho, I'm just going to tell you straight. I don't know what you were just talking about. Bucho tried to give you a bullshit answer real quick.
all right.
Bucho goes, we're going to talk about it later. And BD goes, no, we're talking about it now.
Yeah, he wants to talk about what?
Well, no.
About,
First of all, I didn't want to talk about it now, but just because the only reason why I brought up the whole thing about the stream is because I'm gonna be dead tired after this. We're gonna go on for 2 hours, so I don't want to be going, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to stay up for the fight, to be honest with you. So that's all I was saying. But I didn't want to make a whole big thing about it. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to make a big thing out of is this whole people attacking Gonzalo because he thinks this is going to be a good fight, and he thinks Canelo has a chance to win. And people are accusing him of being a Mexican nationalist just because he's giving
That's
Canelo a
bullshit.
shot.
That's bullshit. And I told Gonzalo and I've been out of the loop for the last couple of days with the shows and everything, but I was on briefly with Gonzalo last night on Miggs's had a stream going on, and I told him Gonzalo's been right on point, man. He's fucking calling it right down the middle. It's like arguing over your favorite color. If you got an opinion, fucking favorite color is blue. Don't just say yours is red, not blue, and fucking leave it at that. If he calls for Canelo or calls for Kovalev to win, then that's his opinion. He's being straight with it. He's been straight with it since the fight was announced, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, I hate to talk about myself, but I'm just gonna say one thing to get it clear. Look, for example, we have Jaime Munguia. He's from Tijuana, okay, and now he trains with Eric Morales, a guy that I used to run with many years ago, back in 1993. You know, and look, I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of him. Now, are they gonna say something about that? Because I'm not that I root for all Mexicans. No, look, I like Navarrete, the 122 pounder, and I like Ruiz. Okay, and Canelo's a good fighter, but then he's in a good fight. Okay, that's all I had to say.
Fuck him, man. Don't be answering to these jerk offs, Gonzalo. You're straight, man. Got the guys enduring earthquakes to be on the show. We got backup bamboo antennas. You guys fuck off and keep to yourself. Smash your head against the keyboard. Now, all right, the rehydration thing, let's talk about it. So really, BDA, I'm shocked at the level of I'm shocked at the level of surprise that everybody had, even hardcore fans are having today, namely about, I guess, some rehydration clause that Dan Raphael tweeted it out, and all of a sudden it's official. I mean, we've known, and I'm even asking some of these guys, like, why are you so surprised? You don't think there was one in place when 2 months ago or a month ago, Kathy Davis has no comment. And then yesterday they had a media roundtable, they had a media section, and I tell you who had a good setup was I can't remember the fucking channel now. Anyway, another channel, I'll find their little thing here, but a real good setup, microphone setup and headphones for these guys to come do media. Eric Gomez was on there. Kathy Duva sat down, and basically they asked her about not the rehydration clause. They asked her about a rematch clause. Okay. They asked her about a rematch clause, and at the end of the question, she said, we have agreed not to discuss any of the clauses in the contract. That's a verbatim answer that she gave. So if you take that for what it's worth, you realize that, of course, it's a rehydration clause. I mean, so my family, we're all Greeks, and the Greeks will gamble on anything. So I'm getting a bunch of calls this morning about, what about this rehydration clause? And I said, well, did somebody announce it? And she goes, no, Dan Raphael. If you look at the weigh-in, I went back and watched the weigh-in about 2 hours ago, but I asked him at the weigh-in after Kovalev weighed in, did he slam a bunch of water? I mean, did he fucking hammer down like half a gallon of water or his electrolytes or whatever, or did he just sit there? And you see the weigh-in, it was hokey. He didn't drink any water after the weigh-in. Well, why wouldn't he?
Right. Yeah, go ahead, Gonzalo.
You see, but the thing, look, there's this guy that's got this YouTube channel. He's a Mexican. He's got over 100,000 subscribers. Okay, he rubs elbows with Canelo and the Chepos. Okay, now, after the weigh-in, he did a video that I watched last night that I sent to Bucho, where he explicitly cleared up the situation about the rehydration clause for the morning after and for the actual moment to the afternoon when they step into the ring. There is no rehydration clause. He said there is absolutely no clause, and it's all part of a smear campaign. Okay, now I'm quoting somebody that put out a video that has over 100,000 subscribers to his channel. Okay, this is not because I'm saying it. And like I said, this was after the weigh-in yesterday. And I'm just putting that out there because sometimes I believe that people, although I might be saying this, don't want to look into it. Maybe because the guy, he says it in Spanish to where maybe this video is not it's not available to like English speaking people, or maybe because they really don't care. They want to swipe it under the rug and they just want to keep believing what they want to believe just to make it into a, you know what I mean.
What are you saying? Are you saying that there is no rehydration clause, but that people don't want to hear it because they want to continue with the narrative that there's this is an uneven playing field? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a little bit delusional.
Hmm.
That's what I'm really upset about. Why would people think like that?
Gonzalo, let me just ask you a question. Listen, like I said earlier, man, you're right down the middle with the shit. You and I talked the day when the fight was announced, and I just asked you if there's a catch weight or a rehydration, does that kind of put an asterisk on this thing? You said, of course it does. Yeah, of course. So look, you keep it real. I mean, I'm not. Why would it take a third party who's got an inside track to Golden Boy to come out and flat out say that? Why, when asked, do all the promoters, the people that are at the contract table, why do they sit there and say something like no comment, or say something like, I have it right here. I'm sorry. It's the Boxing Rant. That's the name of the channel. Never heard of it before, but only found it today because they have these little media row sit downs with Duva. They have Bernard Hopkins on there. You could skip that one. They have Eric Gomez.
Oh, what's the matter with you?
So yeah, sorry. No offense, B-Hop. The thing is, why would Kathy Duva say it like? I don't know. I can't play it right now.
Did she say that they can't discuss anything that's in the contract? Is that
Can I just play the audio, or is that not? May I put it on mute?
I don't know, man.
Put the
but the thing, okay, no, why would we believe you? So she said that they can't discuss anything that's in the contract, right?
Yeah.
But if you start asking questions and the answer is yes or no, then you can start deducting certain things, no?
Okay.
Like
Nobody asked her about specifically the rehydration clause, but I'm watching this now on mute with the captions. I'm just gonna tell you what she said. They asked her on this one about a rematch clause. Okay, here it is right here. I got to it right here. I'm just going to tell you what this guy's saying, all right? He's saying, let's just say Canelo wins this fight on Saturday. Is there a rematch clause built into this? Is there anything? No, as far as that on your end or their end, our agreement is we're not going to talk about the clauses in the contract. Fair enough. So it's come on, man.
So there's nothing they can discuss, right? So
that means there's a gag order.
That's a non-disclosure term in the contract.
Yeah.
That's fine. It is what it is, you know.
Oh, and by the way, just to clarify something, that guy, it wasn't the guy from the YouTube channel that got the information from Canelo himself. It was this guy called Chava Rodriguez. He's like the Dan Rafael from ESPN Spanish, right? He's the same version of Dan Rafael. Chava Rodriguez. He talked to Canelo, and Canelo told them there is no rehydration clause. That's the story they're giving us.
I also saw the interview that Gonzalez cited too, because Gonzalez, straight up, Gonzalo, excuse me, he put an interview with Canelo on the Discord. He put it out there, and I watched it, right? So what Canelo said was, now I don't want to get the quote wrong, but what Canelo said was, they asked him about a rehydration clause or a catch weight, and he said, there's no catch weight. I am fighting this fight at the full 175-pound limit. They asked him again, and he said, I'm fighting this fight at the 175-pound limit. He was directing towards a catch weight, not answering any questions about rehydration. That's two different things. We've known it's a 175 matchup the whole time. It's for a belt. It's the catch weight that's obviously there, and it's obviously not got an NDA on it. All right. Why would Kovalev come in so close to the 175-pound? His last fight against Yardy, he was 74.3. He's always way under 175. So today he comes in a quarter pound over, or a half pound.
I hear echo.
That's not on me though.
My bad.
But why today does he weigh in a pound over? He takes off his necklace. He's a half pound over now. He takes off his boxers, and he's a quarter pound. I mean, the whole thing is fucked up, man. And again, I'm watching the fight, man. But let's just talk about it. What the fuck is Chapo Reynoso doing in there, telling Bob Bennett how to work the scale for? I don't know if anybody caught that.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, usually they're looking over. Like, I remember Freddie Roach is standing there looking and saying shit sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We were that close.
Kovalev's
The reason,
Kovalev's chuckling
because
over it, you know.
the reason is because what do you call the people that have steak stores that carnicero? How do you say that in English? Bucho.
Butcher shop.
Meat butcher. Yeah.
Butcher.
A
Oh
butcher.
yeah, he's on
Oh
the
yeah,
scales.
butcher. He's a butcher, and there's a way you're supposed to move the scale up or down, and he was moving it down to where Big Reynoso told him move the weight up because he said if there's anything, maybe I don't know shit about boxing, but if there's something that I do know about is I was a butcher, so he's knowledgeable about the scales. That's all I want to say.
Now, when you say
Okay, so
butcher,
I
what
would-
do you
I
mean?
think the guys know how to run. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he wanted him to set it at he wanted to set it overweight and then come down to 175 instead of setting it down and coming up, bumping it up. I got you. The thing about it is, my thing is, where the fuck is Kovalev's team at, man? Like Kovalev's team, Duva. I don't know. I didn't see Buddy McGirt on that stage, to be honest with you.
Well, can I answer that, man? Not to be too hung up on conspiracies, but Kovalev's team already complained once, and they stuck him in there with what's his name, Rosso Mora, sort of as an ironic punishment, saying, "All right, you want to complain anymore? You got any more complaints to make?" So I don't think I think he's a little gun shy right now about complaining about anything.
Kovalev?
Yeah.
Well, he seems pretty happy to.
He looked fine. He looked he was chuckling at Reynoso. I mean, I never seen another trainer tell Bob Bennett, he's goddamn commissioner of boxing, how to work the scale. You know? Anyway, evidently he was a pound over. He took his necklace off. That dropped him a half a pound. I have no idea how. Then he was 75 and a half. And then he took his boxers off and he's 75 and a quarter. I mean, look, man, it is what it is, but forget conspiracy theories, because that implies something else. That let's just keep it right what it is, right? There's no announcement on the rehydration cause, and there's no comment whether it's there or not. Rehydration, not catch weight, rehydration. So what does that tell you?
Can I chime in on that?
Go ahead.
Of course there is a rehydration clause. Like, let's not be naive. Canelo has put that on everybody, basically. Of course he's going to put it on the most difficult fight of his career. Now look, maybe a month and a half ago when the fight was first announced, signed, Sergey basically hinted at a 10-pound rehydration clause. If you go listen to the interviews, he basically hinted at it, and he said it's not going to be a problem. Also, as you pointed out, Kathy Duva did say that they agreed not to talk about clauses, and something like 2 or 3 days ago, Canelo made the mistake of talking about the clauses. Okay, Canelo, after they agreed, and I believe Kathy Duva, why would she say that, right? It makes no sense for her just to make shit up like that. But after they apparently agreed not to talk about it, Canelo started talking about the clauses by saying that there isn't one, that he hasn't put any clauses in the contract, which in and of itself is just, you gotta be really fucking dumb to believe that. But since Canelo started talking about clauses, to me it looks like someone from Sergey's team is like, fuck it. Well, we agreed not to talk about clauses. There he is talking about clauses. We're going to leak this information through Dan Raphael. And Dan Raphael, being a journalist, he doesn't have to give up any of his sources. He heard it through the grapevine, and he posted that little blurb or article or whatever. Yeah, there's a rehydration clause. Sorry, Gonzalo, deal with it. It is what it is. Your idol lied to you, bro.
Okay,
like,
come
you're
on
gonna
now.
have to accept that.
You're being a little bit too harsh there, calling Gonzalo a fan.
Oh, come on, man. How are we going to, just defend Canelo? I mean, come on, Gonzalo. Let it go, bro. There's a rehydration clause. Of course there is. Everybody knows this.
There might be precise. There might be. But I'm stating what the information that Ernesto Amador put out yesterday. Okay? A guy that's got 100,000 subscribers. Why would he say that? Maybe there is.
It's Chava Rodriguez from ESPN. It's not the guy from YouTube. He's using he's using Chava Rodriguez. Okay.
Yeah, I heard the guy from YouTube quote Chava Rodriguez. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that there isn't, but I'm just saying what I heard, and I'm putting that out there.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to get to. So it means there's two scenarios. One, there's no rehydration clause, and for some reason, Kathy Duva and everybody else can't talk about it. Or two, there is a rehydration clause, and Canelo is lying and saying that there isn't because maybe the gag order. Yeah, go ahead, Recognize.
Can I just interject a little bit?
Please.
No.
Thank you, Pete. That means yes. Now, why would Danny Jacobs have a rehydration clause and not Kovalev?
Fielding, Jacobs.
Chavez Jr. had one too. I mean, come on, man.
Hey,
That's all I would. That's all I would. I'm not going to make any assumptions. Well, educated ones, yeah, I'll make one. But I'm not going to comment any further than that. I would just say that Kathy Duva not answering it. That's part of contracts when you sign it. You know, you can sign a contract and somebody can tell you, you cannot discuss the details. And if you sign it, I could basically, I can sue someone if I tell them don't talk about what's in the contract, and I could prove that, right? So,
right, and
yeah, I
unless,
just think that
like Precise said, unless the other side waives that, if they breach that clause, then of course the other side can speak up and defend themselves. But to go back to what Precise and Gonzalo were saying, Gonzalo, the interview that you put up with Canelo, if that's the one you're referring to, that you put up before, he said no to the catch weight.
I'm talking about another one. I'm talking about an interview last night.
Put it up, man. Let's look at it.
I did. I sent it on Discord. It's on Spanish. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm just putting something that I've heard for everybody to see. But if it's a lie, it's a lie.
Before the fight was signed, it was well known that Canelo wanted a 172-pound catch weight and a rehydration clause. And Sergey is in an interview saying that he's not going to agree to that he's not going to sell out like that. Like Canelo wanted 172 and a rehydration clause. He didn't get 172. He got the rehydration clause. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think it's well within what Sergey wants to come in at, and I don't think it's going to make a difference.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll talk more about that, but we got to take a phone call here. Let's go to, I think it's Dead Game 337. You're on the air. 337.
What's up, family? What's up?
How you doing, Dead Game?
What up? What up?
Oh man, just taking a little break on the clock, man. About to go home on my last job of the day. Go watch the fight. Just
right.
chiming in.
What do you think about this rehydration clause? Do you think there's a rehydration clause, or do you think Canelo is trying to do this on the level?
I don't know, man, because like you guys just said, Dan Raphael came out with the statement. I think because it's something that has been talked about, building up the fight, that we want Canelo to fight a 100% fight where, he's not having any stipulations on anyone. I don't think that's good journalism if that's not true, man. I think that's starting a shitstorm. I'm a Canelo fan. I'm pulling for Canelo. But, and maybe because what I'm about to say is because I'm a Canelo fan, some people might not like it, but Canelo the A side. And I mean, if Canelo said what he wants and it happens, then it is what it is. Kovalev just gonna have to either pay up, either do like Danny Jacobs and come in like he wanna come in, or
Well, that's the thing. If he would have broken the rehydration clause, I think it would have already come out. Unless they can't even talk about it at this point either, whether he breaks it or not. So we don't know. But let me ask you just one last thing. That game, if Canelo beats Kovalev, are you going to give him credit, or are you going to say, well, the weight had something to do with it?
You see, that's why I made that statement about Dan Raphael coming out with that, because I never heard that from anyone. Nobody. I mean, that's the only place that people is getting their information from. At the end of the day, man, when your hand is raised, no matter how you did it, you did it, So, I mean, they're going to always have haters that's going to hate just because, a lot of people don't like Canelo. Some people are Kovalev fans, and I get that. But when the referee raised your hand, all you can do is hate. It's in the books.
But isn't there something to be said about that? The fact that he's making him dehydrate himself, is that really a win for Canelo?
100%. It's 100% win, man. I mean, we've seen this through boxing, through history, man. Some guys that's coming up, want that rehydration. They don't want the guys coming in at 195, And I'm hearing 190 was what I heard was he had to make weight yesterday. He had to make 185 today, and he can't be 190 coming into the ring. I heard 3 different things. So that's how bad this and none of it is probably true because we just running with something we heard Dan say.
Yeah, I'm not going to trust Dan. Sorry about that, but I'm just not going to do it. Now, McFluster in the chat room says the zone said that they both weighed in under the rehydration this morning. So if they're saying that, then that means that there is a rehydration clause. I mean, if the zones, can somebody confirm that if the zone said that?
My God, this is a mess.
They both
It's
weighed
really not
in.
a mess,
They both
guys.
weighed in under 185.
All right. So I suppose that's it. All right. So listen, we're gonna get
So I
back to
guess
this.
that confirms that there was a rehydration clause. Yeah.
Exactly, like most people were saying here. All right. So Dead Game, anything you want to say before we'll let you go?
Nah, man. Let's go Canelo. That's
Let's
all
go
I have
Canelo.
to say. Let's get it.
All right. Thanks a lot for calling in, man. Don't
All
call
right,
me a
family.
bitch.
Y'all
Don't
take
call
care.
me a bitch again at the end there.
All right.
Don't you
man,
dare.
brother.
Don't you dare. All right. Thanks
He
for
didn't
calling
call
in,
you a
Miguel.
bitch. He said peace. He said peace, babe. That's what he said.
I think he called me a bitch ass N-word. I think that's what I heard him say. All right, listen. Thanks for Dead Game calling in. Don't forget, guys, phone lines are open so we can take your phone calls, get your picks. It's not too late to change
BDA,
them. Yes.
can I just say one thing? All right. So how's that hating if we're just taking an educated guess that there's going to be a rehydration clause? Look, I would say this to Gonzalo, and I love Gonzalo because I think he breaks down boxing just from a standpoint of he's not even looking at the outside stuff, and that's good, and that's the way to do it. But the reason there's that doubt for Canelo is because he created that doubt. Nope, nobody else did.
Right.
Okay, so he created 155 is the new 160. He created all these illusions of a dominant, just a dominant fighter. When the facts come out that there's like little rules to fight him, in other words, it's not straight up. Look, everybody gets to fight at their best weight and whatnot. That's not the case here, right? He didn't have to do that with Triple G because Triple G is just a different type of animal. He's always at that point at 170. Because that was the thing with the IBF back then. So he didn't have to do that with him. But, when it comes to these bigger fighters, yeah, you better believe if he had a rehydration clause for Danny Jacobs, please, I think you're deluding
Naive.
yourself if you think he's not going to do that for Kovalev.
And Rocky Fielding.
Excuse me, Rocky Fielding. I never even paid attention to that fight. Like the details.
Me neither.
Anything.
Yeah,
all right,
Rocky and Danny Jacobs, both. Yes, both.
Let me take a phone call real quick. See if we can get more people to weigh in on this. All right, 917. You're on the air. 917. You want to identify yourself?
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is David, and I recently found your channel, and it is absolutely amazing. I subscribed right away. I love this talk.
Well, thank you. What do you want to add to this conversation?
So what? Just kidding.
Yes. Yeah, the whole rehydration clause, I think that Canelo, being the moneymaker in boxing, gets to get away with setting these terms because it's either you agree to the term or you don't get to fight, and they're going to agree to it no matter how much of a disadvantage it puts them at.
Right, and let's not forget one thing, guys. Kovalev is getting 3 million compared to 36 million for Canelo. So Kovalev is looking at this as a big payday, and it seems like he's just willing to take the 3 mil and agree to everything that Canelo is saying. Sort of like Hagler when he fought Leonard, and he agreed to all the terms. A bigger ring, 12 rounds instead of 15 rounds. I think he got the shitty food backstage, whereas Leonard was eating caviar and all that. So, David, let me ask you then, though. I think we can all agree. It seems like there is a rehydration clause. If Canelo beats Kovalev, are you going to give him credit, or are you going to look at all the outside of the ring antics and say, can't really give him too much credit?
I'll still give him credit because let's say, remember the Daniel Jacobs fight? He had a limit. He came in over the limit and still lost. I think, this is just my opinion, I think even if there had been no rehydration clause, Canelo would still be able to win. It might be this is kind of the statement might be out there, but I think even without the rehydration clause, he would still win. And I don't think the rehydration clause is necessary, but they're doing it to protect the fighter because they really can't afford Canelo taking an L.
Anybody else want to add?
I will still give him credit.
All right. Anybody want to add to what you just said?
Well,
I agree with him.
It wouldn't have mattered. We'll never know. I guess that's.
I'm gonna say that I agree with him on this point. Kovalev, and I've seen some people do this. Kovalev is a willing participator in if there's some bullshit going on. In other words, they're not telling him, but he knows, like, hey, you got to meet me at this weight. You're gonna take this amount of money, etc. Right? If he goes in there and says, I'm gonna sign the contract anyway, I believe that if he loses, if he wins or loses, you got to either give him credit or say, hey, listen, you took a gamble, you lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
me as a boxing fan, as a spectator, I can sit there and judge a fight, and I'll come to my own conclusion of who do I think won or lost, and do I think there was bullshit.
All right.
Or there wasn't no bullshit.
Yeah, like, I'm not sweating the rehydration clause myself. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. However, if people want to complain about it and take that into consideration when judging Canelo, well, then he gave them the excuse to do that. There's nothing for people who are upset. I mean, the reason why they're upset is because they know it's bullshit. They know these rehydration clauses is bullshit. So that's why they're complaining about people complaining about it. Look, it's like this. If you're setting a land speed record on a bicycle or something, I don't know, and you beat the record with a headwind, that's going to go in the books too. They're going to say, yeah, he beat the record, but he did it with a headwind. And there's going to be a little asterisk by that record or something along those lines. So it's a minor thing. I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be, some people, but Canelo gave him, he set himself up. It is what it is. Like, stop bitching about it. And one last thing. Dead Game is absolutely correct. Might is always right, okay? When the Europeans came over to America and killed all the Indians, when they enslaved all the Africans, okay? God, the referee, he raised their hand and he gave them permission, okay? I just wanted to say that. So might is always right.
Come on,
of course
man.
it is.
Oh, he's down! Yes!
Come on. Why would you do that? Why would you say that?
Might is
All right.
always right.
All right, David, thank you for calling in, man. We got to move on. We got other phone calls, but anything you want to say before we let you go?
Let's just all enjoy the night. 11 p.m. can't come any sooner. And fuck the UFC. Boxing all day. That's what I'm watching. Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Peace.
Thanks for the call. And next time, the salty language, we can do without that. All right, we got another phone call. 484. I think it's Boricua. Boricua, is this you?
It's Jackson.
Oh, it's Jackson.
Nah, it's Jackson. How's it going, guys?
Good. Thank you for calling in, man. What do you want to add to this whole circus here?
Well, two things. I think the rehydration stipulation could either help in two ways. It could either make Kovalev a better fighter. He might be faster on the night. Or it could possibly, when does he have to make weight? Was it this morning? Is it right before the fight?
I think it was in the morning.
It's the morning, second day weigh-in.
For Christ's sake. No one's understanding that it's...
See that. I feel like it could possibly weigh Kovalev down again because he makes this again. Then he's going to rehydrate up again today and put on He's gonna drink a bunch of liquids, etc. So I feel like he's gonna like this happened to me in a sporting event one time for a hockey game. I thought I was really dehydrated, and I drank a bunch of different Gatorade, and I came in and I was slow. I could not move. So if he has to like double rehydrate, that's going to be very, very. That's going to be detrimental for Kovalev. But on the other hand, if he doesn't have to really rehydrate too much, again, if he wants, I couldn't find what Kovalev's usual fight night weigh-ins are, but I'm
Right.
sure Canelo did pick the strategic strategy why he's weighing in at 185. So it could go both ways, but I'm sure Canelo's team did their homework, and it's going to affect Kovalev negatively some way.
It can't help. I mean, if you're
Right, of
dehydrating
course.
yourself,
Why
I
the
don't
fuck
think
would
you're
they
gonna.
put it in there? Why would they put it in there if it helps Kovalev or it doesn't make a difference?
Exactly. Exactly. It's like I don't think it's gonna help.
Exactly.
I know Jackson's trying to look at this from both ways, but it's if you're dehydrated, you're not gonna be faster, man. You're gonna be slower. I mean, it reminds me back a couple of years ago, decades ago, actually, in L.A. There was this guy who thought he was gonna, he had to perform, and he was drinking coffee because he thought, oh, I'm gonna get some caffeine, I'm gonna get some good pumps. Well, actually, caffeine is a vessel restrictor, I believe. So he came in and he had to film another scene, and he had nothing by that second. He couldn't get his second win. He tried to drink all the water that he could, but it was too late by then. So it's the same thing with Kovalev. 24 hours, it might not be enough, like Precise said a couple of episodes ago, to get that water back in his cells, deep within those cells. I don't see how this helps Kovalev, Jackson. I really don't.
Well, I think
let
what
me say this.
Jackson means is that
Precise
he,
might know
it
this.
could keep him light.
What is I was
Oh,
going
he's
to
still
say,
on. Go.
didn't Kovalev state himself that he always felt sluggish when he came in over 190? I think it was for the one fight in Russia he had against Chilemba. He fought terribly, and I think that was because he came in around 195 or something, and that was one of his worst performances. So I think somebody said that, and so it might not be the worst thing in the world, but I'm sure you're right. I doubt it can help him.
Okay, who wants to add something to that?
I'm hearing a lot of that
Sergey,
too. That
Oh,
he
hold
said
on, hold
something
on.
like that a long time ago, and that he usually rehydrates 10 pounds. Forget about what he usually does and what he said 10 fights ago, and what he listen. They put it in there for a reason. It's an advantage to Canelo. Period. I don't care if Canelo has to weigh in this morning at the same time. It's not a problem for Canelo. Canelo's just not having to cut any weight. So he could weigh in this morning. He's rehydrated on the scale. He's rehydrated off the scale this morning. Even if Kovalev wanted to gain 10 pounds, or even if these welterweights are gaining 15 pounds, 20 pounds sometimes. You're telling me a light heavyweight's putting on 10 pounds? He looks heavier than 85 in the ring. All right. Now look.
Yeah. I'm
Even
not
if it was
defending
just 10
anybody.
pounds,
Look, I'm not
even if it
defending,
was
but you guys,
Hold on,
sorry, Pete.
Gonzalo, I think
Yeah.
Pete, make your point,
Yeah.
and then Gonzalo wants to talk, and
even
then
if it
I
was
think
just 10 pounds, right? To make him spend the night before the fight at a dehydrated state and then put that 10 pounds on in a rush the day of, you understand that's still disadvantaging Kovalev. Let's cut this shit. All
All
right.
right,
Even if he
let's.
wants to put 10 pounds on,
I agree.
not being able.
With Pete.
Have you ever slept when something's wrong, you're sick or something like that? Yeah, you shut your eyes and go to sleep. You really sleep though?
It's the
You feel
worst.
like
Not
exhausted the
yeah.
next
It's
morning.
hard to sleep that way.
So
Body's washing dishes.
there is. It doesn't matter. It's only 10 pounds. That don't fucking matter. You're still restricting the other guy who's heavier in weight than you naturally.
All
Let's
right,
call it what it is. Cut the
let's
shit.
get
Go ahead, G. I'm
Gonzalo's.
sorry, man.
Let's get precise response to that, and then Gonzalo, and then we gotta move on to. All right, so go ahead, precise.
you have to believe Canelo's team is doing this is because they think it's an advantage. Me personally, I don't think it's a big deal. However, like I said already, Canelo's team are giving people a reason to criticize him when he really doesn't have to do that. And there's nothing to complain about as far as Canelo supporters go. It is what it is. He did it to himself. He shouldn't do that. He's basically showing you, like Floyd before him did, that he's above boxing, that he could make his own rules, and that's whack. It's just.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yep.
Gonzalo, you were going to say something, or I
I was just gonna say it makes sense that people would think, and I'm not saying that it's not true. Evidently, Dan Rafael stated. I just brought up 2 points from what I heard in the Mexican channel. Not that I was saying it. And one thing is for sure, even though there's rehydration clauses or not, everybody got to step on that scale the second day. And some
right.
people refuse because they're like way over, like Chavez Jr. And I'm not saying that Kovalev, uh, he didn't come over 185 because he couldn't or he could. I'm just saying that's what he came in because those are the facts. Whether people want to say 100% sure that it was because of a clause, okay, I'll accept the information I hear from people, their opinions, but I was only stating 2 facts that I heard.
All right.
Okay, and I was just quoting what I heard.
And
But
Gonzalo, nobody's attacking you either, Gonzalo. Don't feel like. I mean, listen, we're all trying to figure this out, going back a month, and we're all bringing to the table things that we're pulling out from the media or from interviews or whatever. Let's bring it to the table. If it's the validity of it, if it can be trusted or not, do we rely on it or not? That's the thing. I don't give a shit what Raphael said or this Mexican guy from ESPN said. I really don't. It goes back to when Duva said no comment a month ago, day after the fight was signed, and it goes down to what she said on November 1st, yesterday.
Yeah, but look,
bottom line, the clause shouldn't be there, man. It's one guy showing the world that he's above boxing, okay? And if you're a boxing fan and you're not criticizing this, whatever, I don't know what to tell you. But look, Sergey has been making his weight, in-ring weight has been listed under 185 because he held the IBF title for a few years, and IBF had that rehydration clause. So we don't really know how big he is, how big he wants to be in the ring. He could say whatever he wants, but the reason why his rehydration weights are within 10 pounds of 175 is, again, because he had that IBF belt. And now that isn't on the line, and that's not the rule for everybody, it's not fair for Canelo to be setting his own rules and once again proving that he's above boxing, that he doesn't care about boxing fans, period. And that's why people don't support him. That's why a lot of people don't support him. So there's nothing to complain about. Canelo is doing this to himself. Like, get over it.
That's right. That's a good point, man. That is a very good point. And people say that Canelo, Kovalev agreed to this. Well, yeah, he agreed to it, but then what does that say? That does not erase the fact that Canelo's team are asking for all these rehydration
exactly. Like,
clauses.
there's got to be some culpability on your part too. Like, okay, like I said, right? Once Kovalev signs to this deal, and if he feels that it's unfair, but he's like, fuck it, I like the money, he's got to take the responsibility on the gamble, right? So that's on him. On the flip side of that, there's Canelo, who's over here telling you, I fight guys in a fair fight. I'm the baddest thing going down, right? I fight dudes fair, at their best, and I whip their ass. That's what I do. But behind closed doors, he's like, yeah, but you got to sign this too. Oh, you got to do this too. Wait, one more thing. You got to sign this too. Oh, wait, before you leave, sign this one too here too. Like, okay, you're an internet tough guy almost. Like, you know how they use that. You're a studio gangster. Like, you're not. Yeah.
Studio gangster.
No, I mean, look, Canelo is gifted. He can fuck up the average man. But when it comes to like elite fighting, elite boxing, he obviously doesn't feel too confident. He feels like he needs a booster. If he gets that booster while you're being monitored, and he learned this from Mayweather, guys. Like, he was drained. Right. He was drained in that fight, so he understands the importance firsthand because he knows what it's like to be drained, and then come into a ring just totally flat that night, right? So, I mean, the guy knows. He knows firsthand.
Listen, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Jackson, anything else you want to say before we move on? Because we got to take another call.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing, or I just wanted your guys' opinion on one more thing. Do you think this basically compromises the fight? Because everybody's been saying it's a fixed fight, etc. And I want to believe it's going to be. I mean, at least what they do in the ring will be legit. I know Gonzalez keeps saying like, just don't worry about the corruption aspect, and I think Precise is right too when he said like he's just making another, like, Canelo doesn't have to do this. He can just, it might not change the effect of the fight that much. So people are going to look back in history and see Canelo with these dumb things that he's doing. But do you think this compromises the fight? Basically, like, do you guys? I'm trying to say, do you guys think it's a real fixed fight?
Yeah, okay. Who wants to answer that one?
It's like Pacquiao and Cotto. Like, did Pacquiao really need those 2 pounds, or for Cotto to shed those 2 pounds of that 1 pound? No, he would have whooped his ass no matter what. But people are always gonna criticize him for it because he did it. And in my opinion, I don't know if you guys agree or not, Cotto looked strong in that fight. He just got his ass whooped, basically. So I think it's going to be the same situation. I don't think this clause makes a difference. If it is 10 pounds, I don't think it makes a difference.
We'll have to see in the fight, guys. I mean,
Right. We look.
I got no problem with Pacquiao running a catch weight with Canelo. I mean, excuse me, not Canelo. Slow down, Pacquiao. The thing is, I got no problem running a catch weight with Cotto if he's ascending the weight divisions on his way up, and he's not quite a 47-pounder yet. You want to
just
get
fought
a
at
catch
140
weight
previously.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. He's going up the division. So the problem I have with, listen, it's two things. Number one, would he have needed it or not? It's there, and there's a third grade level remedial school half-assed attempt to cover it up and talk around it. That's the bigger issue, not the rehydration clause.
Yeah, it just came out today.
I don't even know. I'm not even counting today. I don't care what Dan Raphael said or this other guy. I don't give a shit.
Oh,
it's no offense to Dan Raphael, big boy. The thing is that it's the gag order in the contract, and you saw in the Danny Jacobs fight two things. You saw rehydration clause. You saw a non-disclosure agreement that was breached by Golden Boy first the next day, talking about he was 2 pounds over, and then Jacob's team commenting on it, and then Golden Boy getting all pissed off over it that they spoke about it when they weren't supposed to, when they released it first.
Yeah, you see, that's how can you, as a boxing fan, if that's true, I would pose that question. How can you respect that?
Yeah, look at the progression here, guys. Look at
like
the
what's to respect? And if you respect that, it reflects like that's basically you have like this elitist attitude, and maybe that's why you respect it. But I don't.
All right.
Hey, listen, AA Boxing and Blunts put a comment in here, right? Let me reread this. This is true. A lot of this is true. Why Canelo being criticized? It's his right as the money man to get as many favorable terms as he can. You ask for everything you can. That's what everybody does. All right. That's one way of looking at it, right? He did it. Kovalev agreed to it. Let's not forget. I'm not saying that listen, they put it in front of him. They said, you want to make this money? This has got to be the terms. The rehydration and also non-disclosure. So I'm sure that conversation was had. So what do I say if we're asked about it? What are we supposed to say that doesn't be violated here? Tell me what verbiage I can use. Use no comment. She started off doing that. No comment. That's, to me, is saying yes. And then yesterday she said this, in essence, the same thing. We're not discussing the clauses in the contract. Now listen, the night of the fight in that Danny Jacobs fight, you could see that was a different fighter than he was against Triple G when he rehydrated his ass off in that fight. You could see that he was not fully rehydrated in the Canelo fight. Could you not see that? Everybody saw that?
Of course.
So
Yeah, what kind of fucking comment is that? Don't we want to see the best versus the best at their best? Like, are you a fucking boxing fan or are you a retard? Like, what kind of dumbass comment is that? Come on, man. Like, seriously. Okay.
Boxing and Blunts,
I'm
unsubscribe to the channel.
No, but it's true. I mean, it's true to a certain extent. Not the R word part, but it's true. I mean, it's like when people recognize when Recognize was the king of Brooklyn, he wasn't going around asking for weight clauses and hey, listen, tie your one hand behind your back so like we can fight. He was doing it on the level.
He had the juice. He had the juice.
Well, what I'm saying is,
now you got the juice.
All right. All right, listen.
Let me say something. Let me say something.
Hold on, Gonzalo. Hold on. Sorry. Because I got a lot of things here at the same time. Jackson, we gotta let you go because we got somebody else on hold for almost 10 minutes. But thanks for calling in. All right, man.
All right,
Action Jackson, good call.
All right, take it easy, Jackson. He got us talking over here. I gotta take a phone call here. Then don't forget, Gonzalo. Don't let me forget that you got something to say. All right, 405. I think this is Santos. 405. You're on the air. 405.
How you guys doing today?
Good, man. How are you, Santos? What do you want to talk about?
I'm doing good. I want to talk about the Canelo and his whole weight stipulation thing. The problem today with us boxing fans is that we always say, well, he's the A side, he gets to call the shots and stuff, but the only shots A side should call or advantages they should get is bigger purse, maybe a say in the arena. That's it.
Yeah.
Not what gloves they wear, not what ring size, not what weight they come in, none of that. The only thing they should get is a bigger purse, and that's it. And maybe a say in the arena, but this Canelo doing the catchweights and putting clauses in and bringing up junior welterweights to fight or Amir Khan, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, all right. I
And
agree
at the
with
end
you.
of the day, he calls himself the best in boxing, and it's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's how can you call yourself? I'll put it to you this way: the lack of logic when it comes to the hardcore Canelitas. They say when you bring up the Kovalev thing, the fact that it's a catchweight, I mean the rehydration clause, and that Kovalev might be hindered by it. They say, well, that's Kovalev's fault. So they're admitting that this is going to affect Kovalev, and yet they keep on rooting for Canelo and as the pound for pound number one guy and the guy that's one of the all time greats. I agree. He's got the ability. But you cannot deny that he is hindering, that he's handicapping Kovalev in this fight. So you cannot say he's the best and then at the same time say, well, Kovalev's an idiot for accepting the clause, because then you're admitting that he's going to be handicapped by it. You're not the best. You're
I
fighting
can make him
somebody.
faster. Thank you, Canelo.
Okay, come on.
Now, let's turn up the noise to signal to noise ratio. Let's say Canelo asks. Let's say Usyk wins the heavyweight title or something, and Canelo asks him to chop off one of his arms, right? Wear a 20-ounce glove and not be allowed to throw more than 3 punches per round. And he agrees to it. Okay, who the fuck is gonna want to watch that shit? And are we gonna call Canelo the greatest of all time because he did that? Like, just because a guy agrees to it, I mean, fine, but let's not take this shit out of context and then, because then, like you're saying, Canelo's gonna turn around and say, I'm better than Lomachenko and Crawford. I don't know why they don't put me on the pound for pound list. This is why they don't put you on the pound for pound list, because you got too many fucking stipulations, too many bullshit cards, and you're not as good as you think you are. Go ahead, someone else, please.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Like, look, we all love boxing. I get it, but we also we all understand watching boxing that there's a lot of corruption. Look, the A side usually, and I agree with the caller. The caller said, look, I believe he said it this way. He said the A side should only have the money advantage and maybe the venue. Okay, fine. But now we're gonna, and I think it's always been like that. But now we're gonna add how you feel in the ring, dude. That's not a fucking. That's a rigged fight. Okay, what I mean by that, I don't need the other guy to throw the fight. As long as he's feeling sick, and I'm a professional athlete, and he's a professional athlete, and we're both going in there supposedly at our best, but one guy's not feeling that good. Who do you think has the advantage, bro? Like, how can you respect that? That's what I'm saying. Like, the responsibility goes to both guys once you sign it. But the guy who's in the position to make these stipulations, the guy who puts that in there is a bit of a coward, man. Like, how's that hard hard for people to understand? He doesn't believe he can go in there and shoot a fair one with this guy and come out victorious with that. That's what he's telling you.
No. He's daring to be great, you fucking hater. Come on, tell the truth. You know what I mean? It's like you can't have it both ways, people.
Gonzalo was gonna.
I don't think that they should. I mean, if you really wanted to get to it, it's really up to these governing bodies. It's really up to the individual states. They go to all this trouble to make day before weigh-ins versus same day weigh-ins. Oh, they can't rehydrate in same day weigh-ins, but they cut too much weight with the day before weigh-ins. It should just be simply stated: anything that's controlled by the commission should not be able to be contracted around. In other words, you can't contract and make it a 11 rounder instead of a 12 rounder. You can't make it a 15 rounder. You can't make it, the ring size, the fucking padding underneath the ring, the gloves. If they're approved by the commission, there should be the gloves. You can't. It's really not boxing's fault, but these guys are trying to chisel every advantage they can get, and they couldn't do a catch weight because it's for a 175-pound belt.
Mhm.
But everything else, until they make it so that look, and the problem is if Nevada were to do that, you got a state like California who's trying to get boxing business over there, they might be in competition with each other. They are in competition with each other. You understand? They're in direct competition. So until they say, look, if it's decided upon by the commission, we're not going to adjust this ring size based upon, a boxer gets a 22-foot ring, and then a power puncher, if you're a power puncher and you're the A side, you get like a little baby crib to fight in where this guy can't go anywhere. None of that shit should be contracted for. That should be left to the commission for their approval.
All right,
So
but I agree with you, man. It's they set a bad precedent with Mayweather, when Pacquiao, and those catch weights. It's the Pandora's box has been opened. Gonzalo, you want to say something?
I just wanted to say, and I'm gonna make it into a question. Okay,
right.
maybe rhetorical. Look, we know that Canelo has all these advantages, but to call this fight a fix, isn't it that we're kind of making it like to we're undermining Kovalev because he is the bigger guy? Okay, and
Let me.
no, but let me just finish.
Go ahead,
Let me just
sorry.
finish, Rick. I'm not. Yeah, I'm
I
not,
apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, but look, I'm expecting Kovalev to win by split decision. Now, a lot of people are calling fix to where if Kovalev does win, I mean, I kind of see this as like beta behavior because they're gonna come out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, well, I fucking told you." Look, at least Precise says no. He thinks he's gonna beat his ass. I think it's gonna be a competitive fight, and I still think Kovalev should win. But aren't we kind of like discrediting Kovalev? I don't think he's that type of guy where he's just gonna lay down for anybody. To say the word fix. Forget about disadvantage. There's a big difference between the two.
Okay, what I mean by fixed, it's like this. Look, I'm gonna do my part so you can win the fight. I can't actually win the fight for you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got.
You said rigged. You said rigged. Somebody said fixed.
Yes, and
when
I meant
somebody
what I
says
said.
fixed, I'm thinking about Sonny Liston back in the 50s.
No,
the mob's got
right.
a fucking gun to his head and saying you gotta lay
but
down.
you see, you got to understand something. The public caught on to that, so you can't do that anymore. You do a trick once to, when nobody's seen it before. When enough people seen it, it starts to slow down a bit. You got to come up with new ways to do it. Okay, and I believe that getting fighters sick and making them shaky in terms of performance in the ring the night of has been going on since probably the 40s. You could probably even go further back than that. All right, maybe they don't do it a lot, but
what do you mean getting them sick? What does that mean?
But my point is this. It's not fixed. Like I've always said, I think I've said this a few times. You don't need Kovalev involved with the fix. Okay, you don't need him to be involved. Can he take an educated guess that they want him to lose? Of course. Okay, I'm sure he could come up with hey, I know they. I know that these judges want me to lose this fight. The referee wants me probably to lose this fight. And certain people want me to lose this fight. He probably understands that. But yeah, that's what I mean by a rigged fight. The advantages in the ring is part of the rigged fight. Now, it might not work out for you, and I happen to agree with you and Precise. I think Kovalev's going to win this fight. But rigging a fight, in my opinion, just taking an educated guess from what I've been seeing, doesn't necessarily mean, hey, fighter B, throw the fight.
Right.
That's not how it goes.
That's too strong a language. Fixed fight, Kovalev throwing it. No, that's
like if I wanted to get somebody whacked on the phone, I'm not gonna say, hey, go kill B for me.
Yeah, you're not gonna make. You're not gonna.
Damn, Gonzalo, man, splashing the pot. Look at him.
Oh, geez, Luis. He says, Gonzalo. Shout out to Gonzalo, who says, just donate via the super chat. He says, shout out to everybody in the show. God bless, and stay thirsty, my friends. What do you mean, stay thirsty? No. We're not gonna condone drinking over here. We're doing so well. Yeah, we're doing so well this November. What does they call it, bro? November.
Yo, is that a shot against Kovalev? Or you,
Nah,
you making fun of Kovalev because he can't rehydrate Gonzalo? That's not funny, man.
Because look, I think the rehydration thing, whether it's fair or it's not, or it's brought up a lot of controversy because it has, because we're speaking about it leading up to the fight. What is it, like 2 hours away? Anyhow, I give Kovalev a great chance. I just do.
I agree with you, Gonzalo.
All right, listen, we still got we still have the caller on the line.
Oh
Santos,
shit! I'm
Santos.
sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Santos, you still there, man?
Yeah, I'm here. This kind of reminds me with the fighters that are going to fight Canelo. You guys seen the movie Gladiator, where at the end the Emperor stabs Maximus in the stomach,
Yes.
and then nobody could see behind the scene like what's going on. That's what kind of feels like every time a Canelo fight comes up. Like there's always some bullshit going on behind the scene and that people don't know about. But that's the problem.
Does everybody understand what he's saying or no?
I understand.
Yeah, we also
made a fan.
Are you guys allowed to watch Gladiator in Canada? You know what he's talking about? When the Emperor gives him a little stab behind the thing?
First of all, I saw that movie when it came out in the theaters.
I know which part he. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you want to hate the fucking the Emperor. You know what I'm saying? It makes you fucking hate his ass for doing that.
Actually, I respected him more for doing that because it's smart. And if he would have killed Maximus in that last scene, as opposed to it getting backfired on him, he would have been considered one of the greatest emperors of all time because he would have beaten, at least in the public's eye, he would have beaten the greatest gladiator of all time. So I think it's the same thing with Canelo.
Achilles going to Troy and challenging Hector and killing him in front of everyone. It's pretty badass.
Are you not entertained?
Maximus would have won one way or the other. Don't worry about it.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, we're all entertained.
The Emperor was represented by Golden Boy, by the way. That's
I'll be drinking some.
a little known fact.
Oh, hold on. Santos, what did you say? You're going to be drinking what?
I'll be drinking some vodka and hope Sergey stops him. So hopefully it comes true.
Oh, so no sober November.
There's a little shot at Kovalev.
All right,
Kovalev.
No. I hope Sergey stops him. But
all right, Santos, thank you for calling in. We're gonna move on. Thank you for calling in, man. Enjoy your night, and hopefully you enjoy the night. Yes.
Hopefully it's nice and cold in the freezer right now.
You believe Gonzalo? Stay thirsty. That's what they told Kovalev after he got off the scale. Until tomorrow morning, stay thirsty.
All right.
Stay thirsty, my friend.
What's with the puns? All right, thank you, Santos.
I want to fight.
Real quick, because we got Gypsy who just joined, and I want to get to him. But before we do that,
I'm going by.
See you.
Oh, come on. 8:05. You're on the air. 8:05.
What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me just fine?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. How you doing, Pugalacan?
I'm doing great, man. Just been listening to what Recognize had to say about the definitions of rigged versus fixed, and I gotta say I agree with him. He explained it quite thoroughly. To me, fixed means that both guys are in on it, like on the outcome. That's what fixed means. Like there's no other possible outcome. We fix the result. So there's no he can do this about it, he can do that about it. Similar, I don't know if you guys know this actor, Mickey Rourke. He played Whiplash in Iron Man 2. They had a fixed fight with him where his opponent, I believe his name was Simon something, he admitted that it was a fixed fight, and he got his license suspended. He completely banished from the sport. But in this case, I agree with the language that this is a rigged fight in the sense that you get to choose your ring size, you get to choose the glove sizes. I don't know if Canelo got to choose the glove size. I'm just going on stipulations since I view him as the next Mayweather. He got to do that stuff. I don't know if Canelo has that luxury. But, like deciding the referee and the judges and, it's too many advantages to overlook, in my opinion. I still think Kovalev's going to win the fight. I really hope he does. I hope it's a good, clean fight. But with Russell Mora as a referee, I'm like, oh, man, that's just a big if,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree, man. I mean, there's just... But again, you can only control so many things in that ring. You can only control so many things. And Kovalev...
That's true. That's true. I do hope... I don't think that Kovalev is the type of guy to be in on it. I think he's going to try to win the fight, I think he still has a few more to go, maybe challenge Beterbiev, but, I just don't think he's going to be in on it. However, if it goes a decision, I hate to have that feeling that we have to be anxious about the result. That's just something that we shouldn't be, doing,
I agree, man. I agree. But I still think it's going to be a great fight. And Kovalev is one of the best light heavyweights of the past 10 years. He's still, as he's shown in his last 3 fights, or 2 fights rather, he has shown that he still has it. Still has it. He's going to bring it,
Yeah,
man.
he has heart. You know, he has heart. Even in his loss to Elida Alvarez, you know, he tried to fight. He tried fighting back. You know, he really did. So,
Exactly.
I can't say he doesn't have heart. You know, like that. Against Yard, he took a big body punch, but he fought back and beat the crap out of him. You know, like one good round for Yard, and you know everybody's wetting their panties. You know, at least Yard stands there. But you know he has heart. You know, so I don't expect him to throw the fight in that sense. It's gonna be a fixed fight. However, some of the stuff is already rigged.
Well, yeah, but anyway, listen, we'll see what happens, man. I'm gonna enjoy the fight, no matter what happens. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I
on the
know.
edge of my seat, and hopefully you are as well, Pugalakan. Anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Oh yeah, I'm watching. No, man, we just hope it's a good fight. You know, hopefully we can all enjoy it. Look past all this. You know, I mean, not look past it, but hopefully it doesn't, you know, make a bar from enjoying a good fight. Because I think it will be a good fight. You know, Canelo comes to bang, or he's gonna be running around. Well, he's gonna come to fight. But Kovalev, I do hope that you know he pulls it off somehow, even if it is in Vegas.
All right, fantastic, man. Thank you for calling in, Pugalakan, and enjoy the fights.
Good call.
All right, likewise, guys. Have a good one. Don't drink too much. All right, guys. Have fun.
All right, thank you. We won't be drinking.
Right, Culiacan.
The Lord says everything in moderation. All right, before we, I gotta take a little break for about a couple of minutes because I gotta go set some shit up. But before we do that, we got Gypsy who's been on for a couple of minutes now. Gypsy, are you there?
Yeah, we
Oh.
can't hear you, Gypsy. Call back the next time. Bye.
No, hold on.
Come on,
Gypsy, Gypsy. He's not joking. We can barely hear you, man. Are you on your Wi-Fi or are you on the road?
At space station.
Yeah, I can't hear you, man. I mean, I can hear some.
He's in planet Los Angeles.
Hold on, stop talking over.
It is what
Please
it
stop talking over him because I want to try to get a sense of what he's trying to say. Go ahead. What was that?
I'm saying my phone is giving me problems.
Yeah, man. Well,
Oh, that's
go.
too bad. Call back later.
Go. Jesus, recognize. Would you stop it, man? Go on your computer. Recognize. Recognize. Gypsy. Get to a computer or get to another phone, and that way you can. Because I want to hear what you got to say. Because I know you're very passionate about this. So.
Oh, look, hey, I'll just give you my prediction.
Oh boy.
So,
All right.
you know, I already said it. So, Canelo split decision robbery.
Okay, Canelo split decision robbery. All right, hopefully Bucci.
Yes.
All right.
The clause, the rehydration clause, shit.
All right.
That shit's
Hey, listen, we don't want to keep you on too long. Get off.
Kovalev might be up in weight too much, and over 185, but Kovalev doesn't go over 185. He doesn't even fight.
I can.
At 185.
Okay, I got the whole thing. Sorry. I got the whole thing about
Yeah,
Canelo
call
split
next time,
decision.
buddy.
I got the whole thing about Canelo split decision, but I can barely hear you. Sort out your PC there. Get on your PC or another phone and call and rejoin the Discord, right?
Yeah,
I heard what he said.
Yeah, no rush. You can wait till like maybe tomorrow.
I recognize, man. Would you stop? Recognize. Would
Get
you
in the
stop?
same
man?
room as your telephone. Gypsy. Start there.
All right. So that was Gypsy Boxing Style. He'll be back when he sorts stuff out. Recognize. Would you stop antagonizing? It's like,
I'm
it's like
just giving him some encouragement. That's all I'm doing.
It's like when the callers. It's like when H Vinny would call in, and you would get like, "All right, thanks, bye."
Hey, man, fix it on your end. Let me see if that makes a difference on mine.
All right, Bucho, take over for a little bit. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I gotta set up the other stream that we're gonna have to restart in a couple of minutes. All right, so.
Oh yeah.
Take over, guys.
Bucho, you all right today, man?
Yeah. I'm not drinking yet because I don't want to get all fucked up, and I know the main event's gonna be late. Right?
I didn't say anything about drinking. I didn't say that. You said that. Listen to you, guilty.
Oh, let's stop the bullshit here.
I'm not
Keep
drunk.
man. Yeah, that's what it meant. Come on, man. No, but yeah, I'm just chilling, man.
Your mic volume is like all the way to the fucking ceiling, dog. You're hot, very hot, coming in.
All
Very
right,
hot.
this is better.
That's perfect. There, boy.
All right.
Yeah. How about what if Poppy was the negotiator for the fight cards? And let me tell you something right now. Non-disclosure. Well, let me ask about the starting of the fight. Right, this UFC card's going to start at what, 9:00?
I think it's that. Usually UFC starts at 10 p.m. I don't know this time. if it's gonna be the same time. So, I mean, we might be having the main event, the boxing main event at 1 a.m. Eastern time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
I don't understand this whole pissing. You know what it is, man? Some of me thinks it's UFC or Dana White pissing on Oscar with this. You know, like, well, I mean, why would they schedule those two? In other words, the UFC knows it's going to affect their business, their orders. Even the amount of people that are watching the Kovalev fight and the amount of people that are watching UFC is probably lopsided for the UFC, but it is still going to take away buys from their fight. And knowing that, even he still went forward and scheduled up on the same night. Then you got PBC scheduling a card, right? Tonight too. Doesn't PBC have a card tonight? This also a third thing online.
Yeah, there's yeah. But a lot. I mean, one of my friends is a UFC fan, and he's gonna try to watch both fights. So I mean, a lot of people know Canelo, obviously, and Kovalev. So I mean, it is a big fight, an interesting fight. I remember, yeah, like you said, Dana White was complaining about is De La Hoya crazy by doing this, blah blah blah.
Oh, he fucking can't stand Oscar. He's pissed with Oscar on a lot of different levels. He's missing a spatula. Now, listen, the thing is this. I'm going to take video tonight of my uncle's house where we watch some of these fights. We're watching it over there tonight. You're going to see 30 fucking guys, food for about 70, 4 TVs, all playing the pay-per-view for UFC, playing the damn boxing, playing college football on 2 other ones, gambling nonstop, all calling in bets as fast as they can. It is a cesspool is what it is with good food. I'm going to take video tonight. I'm going to show you how real degenerate gamblers get down. Hilarious.
Sounds like a party over there.
Cursing at the quarterback. If he's black, God forbid the quarterback's black. My uncle thinks it's all his fault. He fucking this, that. They all got reasons why. And then so Ryan Garcia is on the undercard of this Kovalev Canelo fight then.
Yeah.
He
is, tried to hype this guy up, like I don't know. I mean, he's like. Do you guys in the chat? Do you guys care about Ryan Garcia at this point? Do you see him like? See, I don't even see him as like this super prospect. I mean, sure, he's young. I don't know where he's gonna go, but for damn sure, he's not one of I'm not very excited about him. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
like,
well,
sometimes you see a young fighter. You know, this guy's gonna be fucking. He's really good. Like, he has a amateur background and everything. Ryan Garcia, I mean, all he has is like being like Mexican American. That's pretty much it, man. And being tutored by Golden Boy.
Well, his reputation is being, what is it? Instagram sensation, real popular. Kind of goes negative as far as like a boxer. The look to like where people might think he's too soft, but when you come down to like assessing his skills on camera, he looks good. Like, he's fast. Obviously, when he's training now with the Chepo Reynoso, he looks more fluid and more of a combination puncher, and he looks stronger. But I don't have to. I have to say, I really don't go against anything that he's doing because he's calling out the bigger names. With this guy, he's kind of a challenge to where maybe it is kind of a 50-50 fight because this guy got power. And if Ryan Garcia really got the skills, he's going to be a pressure to where he has to show those, because you got a guy coming forward and Romero Nuno. Yeah, and I mean, I might be a little long-winded. But it's worthy that I speak about that because it is the co-main, and whether it's not the greatest card out there, it's a decent fight. But then then again, this is what they're giving us, right?
Yeah, I saw in the weigh-ins they had those guys weighing in. They had then they had 2 chicks and they're dressed up in like Halloween costumes with capes on and shit. I don't know if anybody saw that, but I don't know who they were. The one chick had an Olympic tattoo on her shoulder. I don't know who they were, but
they were.
My Tecate girls were looking on point, beautiful as ever.
Yeah, Bucho, can you hear me, man? By the way, the second monitor isn't working on the. So we're gonna have to set up something different. Anyway, I'll call you when this is done. By the way, I heard people talking about Ryan Garcia. Is that what you're talking about now?
Your boy, yeah.
Let me tell you
Dancing
something,
Queen.
my boy. First of all, he's not my boy. He should be everybody's boy because this man is an example. I mean, that's the thing. That's what I wanted to get at. Is people, for some reason, people talk about him as if he's this embarrassment outside of boxing, and I have yet to see anything that would indicate that he's an embarrassment. I mean, he trains hard from what I can see, and like again, I have not seen anything that would indicate. All right, so maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe there is something to be embarrassed about him. But listen, the point is this. The point is this. Let's talk about him, about his performances inside the ring. Is he too limited with his lack of head movement? That's the main thing that I see as his problem.
Yes, and that's one thing he's probably training to correct, but we'll have to see how he shows up. There's one thing he's doing with Eddie Reynoso. He's working on his head movement. But yeah, he's usually steps straight back without and with his chin in the air without usually like moving his waist. He steps straight back to where he can get countered.
Exactly, yeah. Now, that's the thing, though. Now that he's working with the Reynosos, there might be some improvements. This dude that he's fighting, Romero Duno, or whatever his name is, no disrespect, but I can't remember names anymore. He looks like a solid guy, but a little slow. And if there's one thing that Ryan Garcia has, you can't take it away from him, is he has hand speed. And the size, too. The height, I should say, not the size. Freudian slip there. But you know what I mean, right?
Pause.
Yes.
No, absolutely. He's a big guy for 135, and Romero Duno's he's short. He's like 5'6.5", maybe, and or shorter. And he does hit hard, but he's kind of limited, and he does get hit a lot also.
I'll give you.
Forgive me for being casual, but let me ask you also: is also Donaire and Inoue? They can't be on tonight too. No, that's
next week. Next week.
Next week.
Yeah, today also is Burchelt versus Jason Sosa, which I keep saying, man, it's gonna be a good one. I've been saying for a while that Burchelt is a problem for most fighters, or he's gonna be a problem for most fighters. The guy is tough and he can box a little bit too when he wants to. And Jason Sosa is a strong dude himself. He went toe to toe against what's his name, Nicholas Walter. So it could go either way, this fight. It could be a bit of a boring fight if both guys decide to box too much, or if they decide to slug it out. Ooh, those guys can slug it out. So that's a nice little fight to watch if you don't want to watch the Canelo versus Kovalev fight. If you think that that's already rigged and you don't want to watch it. And then, of course, like I said, Ryan Garcia on the undercard, which, I mean, I don't know what the upside to this kid is. I mean, I know he's got the whole social media presence and he has a lot of teenage girls as fans and a lot of homosexuals as well, but is that enough? That's not going to allow him to win fights. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got to get in there and knock people out. De La Hoya, who is a guy that a lot of people are comparing him to, he had the gold medal from the Olympics. He was knocking people out with that left hook of his. I have yet to see Ryan Garcia look as impressive as a young De La Hoya was back when he was at 130, 135 pounds.
He doesn't have to knock anybody out. As long as the referee raises his hand at the end of it, that's all. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, Precise really didn't like that comment, man.
Hey, wasn't Endgame complaining about Lomachenko being on list number one? Wasn't he like why didn't he just accept that? Right? It's this hypocrisy of these boxing fans who will say, well, you have no right to complain about this, and then they'll turn around and complain about something else. It's like, give me a fucking stop being a hypocrite.
Well, the thing is, you called him a boxing fan, so I don't know if that's 100% true, but I see we got Gypsy and Recognize back. I don't know where they went. Gypsy, did you?
Hey, how you guys hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you better now.
I can't hear you.
Now we can.
Oh, fuck. Thank God, I found out what the problem was. I had to update. I had to update Discord.
Ah, okay. Well, I can hear you fine, man. And if I can hear you fine, that means the people on YouTube can hear you fine.
It's because I'm a fine motherfucker.
Recognize. I want you to go back to the old version.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, big Gypsy.
Hey guys, what's up? What are you guys talking about? I barely heard anything. I heard about some clause issue, rehydration clause 185, and then what else?
No, we moved on away from that. We're talking about Ryan Garcia now, who is going to be a big star according to some people. But like I was saying, I have not seen that his talent or his performances are any good to warrant the pound for pound future great mantle that some people want to put on him.
You gotta stop looking at his crotch, bro.
I did stop looking at his crotch. I'm not looking at it now. I got my fill last night. But you no, seriously, Ryan Garcia, man. I mean, what are we gonna do about this kid? He's making a fool of himself on Instagram. At least now he switched teams with. Well, I shouldn't say switch teams. At least now he's got the Reynosos behind him. Maybe he's gonna try to fight a little bit more like Canelo to incorporate some more head movement. Can anybody give me their estimation of Ryan Garcia?
Ryan Garcia is the gayer version of Oscar De La Hoya.
And that's really gay if you think about it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's extremely gay, bro. Like,
oh boy.
Yeah, it's beyond.
You know, I'm trying
to get
I'm trying to get a serious opinion here on Ryan Garcia. You guys keep harping on the fact that he might be a twink. You guys are unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
He's not gay.
Man.
He's not
You're
gay. I'm sorry to
unfucking
burst your bubble, BDA.
All right. So what is he then?
Yeah.
This is just what men are. That's what men are these days. That's just how they are. They're not gay. They're just like that.
Like metrosexual.
What is that?
I mean,
what is
call
that?
it whatever the hell you want to call it. You know what I mean?
It's homosexual.
It's true. There's a lot of. I think this generation is a product of being raised by single moms. You know.
Oh boy.
That's just my opinion.
We're gonna go there on this episode.
This ain't about your life, Matrix.
Lingerie, kitchen utensils. It might
Okay,
be
no.
point there.
No.
The thing
We're
is
not gonna.
this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The thing is, I just don't know. I don't know what Ryan Garcia. I haven't seen that many of his fights, to be honest with you. That's my issue. All I ever seen, honestly, I didn't even know that wasn't him. The clip that BDA plays, I thought that was him for a while. Actually, him.
That was him.
That is
first
him.
of all, yeah. And
That was
second of all,
him?
yeah. And I didn't play that clip, by the way. I did not play that clip. I just want to make it known.
Not
I think
today.
it's the automatic computer.
Oh, that's your. Every time you turn your computer on or off, that comes on. The thing is this. Then yeah, he's a fruit. Then you don't.
Oh.
I'm just saying, if you're a straight guy, you don't
Seriously,
dance
man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
And now that you bring like recognize you bring the family into it, it's also, don't you think that in boxing the parents are interfering too much in the sons' careers?
Well, Recognize is not here anymore, but I will say this in regards to Ryan Garcia.
Well, to anybody, yeah.
Well, yeah, he's getting into it with De La Hoya now. He's not happy with and that's the thing about Ryan Garcia. I mean, I'd like to carry around that I'm a fan of his, but I'm really not a fan of his. Especially this last year when he was supposed to fight in September, and then he threw a hissy fit online and started saying, "Oh, well, I should get a bigger purse because I'm attracting the fans here." He's not attracting that many fans to his fights. Forget about. He hasn't translated yet his social media presence onto actual crowds to watch him. All right. And
just because you're not watching it does not mean he does not have a lot of fans.
He does not have a lot of fans. I mean, he has Instagram fans, but he doesn't have those girls paying to go see him fight, which is the most important thing. Well, maybe not the most important thing, but it's certainly part of the package.
Pause.
Okay.
The package. The thing is this.
Okay, come on, man. You're gonna do.
Well, yeah, no offense. Was he supposed to be on the same Canelo card that got canceled the last Mexican Independence Day or Cinco de Mayo?
I don't know, but I know he was supposed to fight earlier this year, and he did not. He was complaining about the money, and people are saying, "Well, listen, yeah, he hasn't beaten anybody. In his last couple of fights, he hasn't even looked entertaining. So I don't understand why Yeah, go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah. Were you done, Biddy? I don't want to cut you off with that.
Well, you already did.
I know, precisely. Anyways, he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight Avery Sparrow, but then he went to prison. He had a warrant out for him, so they tried to get Duno as a replacement. And Eddie Gomez said that that was a tough fighter for him. But then Ryan Garcia was agreeing to fight him. What he only wanted was a little bit more money for that. Now he got it now to where he's fighting Duno, and he's getting paid $250,000. Okay. and he's got the co-main. He's got the co-main, so he's in a good spot. He better deliver, I think.
BDA, don't get too excited, man.
Don't worry about it. I'm under control. But it's true. He has to perform. I read somebody said in the message board. They said fucking Ryan Garcia has quite the balls to go around complaining about more money when he hasn't beaten anybody. He hasn't even performed well. In fact, he performed so badly in one of his last fights that the fight afterwards it wasn't even streamed anywhere. It was streamed on Facebook Live, I think. It wasn't even on any network. So somebody said if he continues to perform that way, pretty soon he's going to be fighting on Live Leak. I mean, this guy has to step it up. He's got a big audience now. A lot of Mexicans watching him. They don't like those baby face. Well, maybe the Mexican women. They like that baby faced, soft boy touch, whatever the fuck it is. But at the end of the day, people want to see him get down. They want to see him slug it out, or at least show some punching power. And if he's just going around there dancing, shaking his ass, his pretty tight little ass, and he's just winning decisions, he's not getting any good performances, then I'm sorry, he doesn't deserve to get paid.
Hey, dancing helps with the footwork, so let's see how that works.
By the way, Gypsy, you gotta show us the photographs of that graffiti, satanic graffiti that you talked about.
Oh man, I found out where it was at exactly, but I forgot. I couldn't remember what fucking alley it was that I crossed. It was Linwood, around Linwood and South.
Yeah, stay away from there.
Yeah, that area.
Wait, Linwood in
I was
what
looking
city?
for it, though. I made a conscious effort in looking for it just for you, bro.
Isn't Linwood like not too far from Compton?
I mean, it's Compton's on the west side of that.
Wait a minute. Is Linwood is a city or is it's the neighborhood?
It's a city. The
city.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you gotta give me the whereabouts of a neighborhood. Otherwise, how am I gonna find it?
What I try to do is like I put Linwood. I googled Linwood and I was like taggings in Linwood, and I know it wasn't. It wasn't Linwood exactly. It was probably the city next to it, and I forgot exactly what city that was. I have to check it on Google Maps again.
We're not gonna get any.
It's around that area.
I hope you get lost around there.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should send.
You know why?
We should send Ryan Garcia there.
New York scumbag, you.
And you know, BDA, what I too, that in the 135-pound division where Garcia's at, you got Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, all these guys that want to be like millionaires, and they're competing in the same division.
That's true. They're all complaining about how nobody wants to fight them. They're not getting paid, blah blah blah. But then they're all in that division and they're not fighting each other. The only one who's willing to fight everybody seems to be Lomachenko. But then again, hey,
that's right.
Don't fight anybody. Right now, Murtazaliev and Fortia on the undercard right now are fucking hooking off in front of two people in the crowd right now.
Wait a minute. They're already fighting those guys?
Well, yeah, you know, DAZN streams the everything from the goddamn first fight on. So right now, yeah, it's round 3. Murtazaliev. I can't say this guy's name.
Wait a minute. So correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm looking at here, let me put it up on the screen. According to ESPN, they say there's those guys that you started fighting, then Ryan Garcia, and then the main event. That can't be right.
They're fighting right now. I mean, unless I'm just so high that I'm hallucinating. No, it is. They're fighting right now. Round 3. There's nobody there yet. You know, it's what time? It's 8. Well, shit, it's 11 o'clock at night out there.
No, what are you talking about? It's not 11 o'clock out there, man.
Excuse me, it's 5 o'clock. I'm sorry, it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon out there in Vegas. Well, they are fucking hooking off on each other. I'm talking about hook uppercut combinations.
Well, supposedly the main event here, the Canelo versus Kovalev, is not going to start until after the UFC main event is done. So I guess ESPN made a mistake in the order of those fights. But
do you remember last time a BDA when they had a card at the zone? There was like a lull in the event to where they didn't have any fights and Mora was just talking.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's that due to, bad planning or what? early knockouts to where they don't have fill-in fights, or just basically just bad planning?
There's gonna be a lot of filler. A lot of filler.
BDA,
Yes.
BDA, do not forget to put me down. Canelo SD by robbery. I repeat it, so you guys have no excuses when that actually happens. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, listen, fellas, you can still change your prediction if you want to. You tell it to Bucho. I gotta go. But here's what we're gonna do though. Before you guys leave, we're gonna be starting another stream in a couple of minutes. All right. We're gonna leave it on during the whole fight, and maybe even correct me if I'm wrong, Bucho, but this stream is gonna be up even after the fight, or Bucho.
Bucho.
All right. Listen, I'll get to him.
Wait till he comes back. I can he comes back all fumbling with his mic.
But anyway, stay put for the. I'm talking to the audience as well. Stay put for the post fight. I mean, the second stream that we're gonna be starting in a couple of minutes, and it's gonna be on during the fight, so you can watch the fight and comment and jive with people, and of course listen to the panelists talk about it. Wow. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, fellas.
All right, so we're cutting this off. You're gonna go live again right after this, and then that's gonna just remain on for the duration of the fight. I like that.
Yes.
Nice. Are you relying on Bucho to do that, or are you going to be doing that?
I'm gonna be controlling things from over here, but I'm not gonna be on the panel.
It's gonna be on the control panel.
That's right. Hey, listen, those that folder of Ryan Garcia pictures is not gonna fill itself, if you know what I mean. All right, somebody's gotta take care of that. So listen, fellas.
I don't like authority.
All right, listen, fellas, thank you for joining us. Stay put. We are going to be starting a second stream, so don't go to any other streams. Don't go to H Money stream just yet. Stay on the line, all right? And
whose stream?
Just like R. Kelly, stay right on our stream.
That's
Can't
right.
promise you anything.
Like one of R. Kelly's victims, right in the stream. You stay right there.
All right, so before I shut this stream off,
welcome back, Sunshine.
Before I shut this stream off, I want to thank Taco Berrystein and Boxing Spectrum for the contributions with the super chat. Don't forget, guys, you can donate with the super chat, PayPal, Patreon, whatever.
Taco Bernstein.
Yeah.
Did you just say that?
That's his name. What do you want from me? All right, so fellas, we're gonna end this stream. We're gonna start another one. The live discussion panel during the fight. So stay put. We'll catch you on the next one, surely, or I'll catch you on the next one. But stay put. Butch is gonna be controlling things from now on. All right. See you in a couple of minutes, fellas. All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, BDA.
There you go.
Adios, amigas.
Amigas, what?